Hey guys, AlduicS here, and we're back with Season 1, Episode 2 of 86. So last time, we met the namesake of the show, the 86, a group of individuals treated as less than human, more like animals, more like livestock, not given medical service, not even counted among the human fatalities. They're treated as human meat shields, as fodder in the war between the Republic and the Empire. It's infuriating, it's very dark. So when one of them goes down and they need medical attention, but they're beyond saving, it's up to their comrades in a last act of kindness, in a show of mercy, to put them out of their misery, as we saw with Reaper, with Undertaker, otherwise known as Shin, I believe. It'll take me a bit to get names and military lingo down, so cut me some slack in that regard. But the Republic just doesn't care about them. Seems like the government's very corrupt. They're trying to maintain their country's morale. They're all expecting the war to end within 2 years, after all. And they're only sending out unmanned drones, as they reported. But maybe we'll see a development where they try to rebel, they try to seek recognition, independence, and everything, refuse to cooperate. And maybe our main female character, Lena, who is the youngest major to ever be promoted to that position, will actually assist them because she's very righteous, very kind, considerate, treats them like people, offers actual sympathies, and so on. And she can empathize with them. So she's different from the bad apples of the government, of her colleagues. So I wonder if that'll ever reach a point, because this show will definitely cover the horrors of war, the chaos of war, what you have to do to survive on a battlefield, who takes responsibility for death, for destruction, for all of this suffering. Because the government does seem like it's kind of shoving off responsibility and not wanting to care about these people, as I said, treating them like livestock. And considering we only see a certain select group of genetics, the white or silver hair and the white or silver, it could be very light blue, but the eyes and the hair color from all of the citizens, it does remind me of a certain fascist country from, what was it, 80 years ago? 80 to 90 years ago? Either way, very curious on what's going to happen next. I like that the atmosphere has kept me invested. I need to know what's going to go down. How will Lena grow alongside the 86? Because there's obviously going to be friction between them. They won't treat her with respect and everything, but she's trying to do right and everything. She's trying to treat them properly. She feels uncomfortable with how they're treated, and maybe that'll eventually rear its head as an actual, I'll assist you. I want to get you rights. I don't want you guys to die. Even if it means standing against like her uncle and some of her other colleagues. And anytime you try to get independence, the government usually pushes back, so it'll probably end in a brutal fashion. Plus, we have this also supernatural aspect about the parade, which synchronizes senses, which in of itself is a very cool concept. Right now, they're only syncing hearing, but are we going to see Lena or anyone else maybe sync eyesight, taste, touch, and so on? Because the more you put pressure on that brain, the more it overloads, and then you can't come back. So are we going to ever see the point where maybe Lena goes to the point from no return and actually manages to return out of sheer willpower, out of sheer desire? It'd be very cool. I like the art, the animation. Studio A1 Pictures is already doing pretty good with the attention to details on point. And the music, I do dig it. And I like the sound design as well, because it really, the way it throws us into battle after battle and the transitions, it showed the chaotic state of a battlefield and how it's sometimes loud enough you can't even hear yourself think. You never know what's going to happen. The gunfire, the smoke, all of that. It was really cool, and I do like the designs of the drones, aka the mechs. Oh, I bet I will probably be a blubbering emotional mess as this series goes on. Either way, before we hop into it, make sure to check out my links down below: my Twitter, my Twitch, my Kitsu, my Patreon, my Discord, even my VOD channel. Support me on all those platforms. Apologies about the weird cut. Had a bit of a technical difficulty issue when it comes to the subs. We will not be using T subs, unfortunately, for this episode. Seems like the episodes themselves have baked in subtitles, so we'll go with what we have. I'll make sure to read the change document by T subs, and I'll work to fix this for future episodes. It's a mistake on my part, but either way, let's hop into it. Using everything at your disposal, all to survive, all to make it through the battlefield, the next fight, and carrying on the mantle, carrying on their hopes and wishes. Because he did make a promise. But he is the Reaper as well, so it'd be very in line with him. Holy shit, that is a beautiful landscape shot. The flowers, the train tracks, feels very dystopian almost, or nature reclaimed maybe. Wonder why. Yeah, there's their previous, and then She doesn't deserve it, but it's obviously how they view her. The pig dressed up like a princess or like a noble lady, because obviously they're being made to fight on behalf of the Republic to die in their war and everything with the Empire, I believe it was. I wonder why they're called the 86. Does he have a scar on his neck? What was that about? Was that sync communication or something else? Oh, I got chills. The design of the Legion's machines and this music and the way they came over the hill. God, the speed, the nimbleness of these things. I wonder if these Legion things have people inside of them, or are they autonomous? He's gonna take the tanks on? God, the music's giving me chills. I'm sorry, what? This man dodged tank rounds. How is he this nimble? What the fuck? It's like a horse running around, but mixed with the agileness and the 3D aspect of a spider with its webs. Holy shit, that is terrifying. Okay, so we're going back in time and now seeing it from Lena's perspective. Already doing what I asked, or at least thought they would be doing, and I really do appreciate that, because the extra perspectives on a situation always make for more interesting developments, and it lets you flesh out both groups and make it feel more organic. That Republic of San Magnolia Empire Giad. So the war began 9 years ago. Autonomous combat machines, the Legion. Okay. Giad had been wiped out by its own out-of-control Legion 4 years prior. So 5 years into the war, they got wiped out, if I'm reading that correct. If I am understanding it correct. All right. So now it's just the drones taking... Is it like a Skynet situation? Like the drones have a will of their own and they're just continuing the destruction? And that explains the optimism, or at least the certainty, that the war will end in 2 years. That's why they're all so certain. But unfortunately, I don't know if it'll go as they're planning, because life has a way of throwing curveballs at you, and the battlefield, the wars are always unpredictable. You never know what steps the enemy will take to continue to win, or to at least never surrender. So I wonder if we'll see some like new units completely thrown out, or maybe the Legion was already planning for the shutdown in 2 years, so they have something else entirely that'll catch them off guard. I don't think the war will end that easy. I'd love to be off base. Are you sure this is the wise idea? Calling out the government and exposing the real history? Exposing the fact that there are fatalities? I mean, it's adhering to your morals, to your kindness, to your righteousness, but when you call out a government and when you expose their wrongdoings, it doesn't always end well. It doesn't end great. It's sometimes it pays more, or you'll survive longer if you're more subtle about it. Oh, 2 weeks by the Legion? Okay. 85 administrative districts, and the group's name is 86. So are they those left behind or refused to be withdrawn into the districts? That would explain why they're living in an area that seems to be like a destroyed city, a runescape and everything, where it's just be reclaimed by nature. They're the 86th district and citizens of that district. Special wartime peace preservation. The fact that she's calling out this propaganda, this falsehood spread by the government to these students, and attempting to overturn what they've been told, what they've been taught, and everything, calling out the shitty behavior of the government, it makes me fear for her because she's going to earn the ire of the government, of her comrades, probably of the teacher and everything, because you're literally standing against the government. You're speaking out against them while working for them. She's definitely crazy, but I can appreciate it because she's sticking to morals. She's taking a high road. She's taking a path of proper human decency. I love how passionate she is about this. Of course. Humanoid pigs that failed to evolve. Oh, that's infuriating. It pisses me off. This level of propaganda, the dehumanization of them. Also, they can throw them and make them out to be perfect human fodder and shit like that because they don't want to recognize them. They don't want to take care of them. It's only been 9 years, but there will already be a generation or at least a group of people will believe in what the government's saying because that's what they're being taught. That's what they're being fed on a daily basis. And it's also to maintain the country's morale, its stability, its peace. We're going to have a point where they're definitely going to rebel, where they're going to seek recognition and independence. And I wonder if Lena will side with them and what problems that will cause. Are we ever going to see her when she went to the battlefield? The people we stripped all rights from. Ooh. Did he just do that sitting down? No fucks given, no effort in? This man is skilled. Oh. And all of the camaraderie stops. It all comes to a halt. The music cuts out because she's technically interrupted their fun, and it really gives off that portrayal, that impression. Become Republic citizens. Don't know if I believe that's what actually happens to them. I don't know if the government would be willing to let them become a citizen after throwing away, treating them like human fodder, treating them like garbage and shit like that, and stripping away their citizenship. I don't think they would do that. I think that's like a carrot and stick situation. They'll dangle it in front of them until they run off a cliff for them. And we're back. So, next episode's title has me very concerned, very worried. I don't want to die. Well, that's foreboding. It's ominous. So, we're probably going to be into a battle situation, most likely, where one or two people will be begging for to live, begging to survive, a real life or death situation, and we may get very emotional. I don't know if my heart's ready for it, straight up. Show is wild so far. I think I did enjoy the second episode more than I did the premiere. It's not like it was bad by any means, no. It's just, as we spent more time with both Lena and the 86, and we're already building upon each group, I'm already getting more invested. The action's also on point. Sound design was fantastic. Straight up, like, oh, I can't praise it enough. I think I was told that there is a series director for this, that this was his debut show, and depending on what decisions he made in regards to it, it's been incredible so far. The camera angles, the art, animation, the music, even the vocal talent. I really do enjoy it. And again, I'll probably hammer this home and sound like I'm beating a dead horse, that I'm a broken record. But the fact that we're switching between sides, between groups, focusing on them, building up each character pretty much, and the camaraderie they have, the sense of unity, or even their morals, their ideals, and what they go through on a day-to-day basis, or how they handle battlefields. It really does work well. I like it because it makes me more invested in what the 86 will do next, and as well as how will Lena grow, because seeing her straight up call out the propaganda, speak out against the government that she works for, against the military, and tell these new recruits, these new soldiers and everything about the real history takes courage. It takes balls, even though she's a lady. But it's never easy, but I like that she's sticking to her morals, sticking to what she views as right, standing up against corruption, standing up against injustice. It really does make me like her as a character. if I wasn't already sold on her because of how beautiful she is and how her vocal talent does really well at portraying her emotions. And I'm looking forward to seeing how she grows alongside 86. Will we see a day where she actually manages to one up Shin, the Reaper, and everything and propose a better strategy? Or at least work on par with them? It'd be very cool. I can't wait to see her grow, but it is a learning experience. It's a whole ass experience. It's a whole new situation for her because they're an ace unit. They're very competent. Shin himself is an absolute badass. Love his red eyes, love his design, and the way he handles himself in the mech is so cool. The nimbleness, the speed, the finesse. Oh. But man, already a good episode. Like, wasn't expecting her to call out the government, wasn't expecting, the sky to literally turn black and the sunlight to fade as we get these electronic disruption machines. I'm not even going to bother trying to say the name without it on screen because I know I will mess it up. Cut me some slack for these pronunciations. But it's also very interesting that right now it's almost as if they're fighting just a single mechanical foe or a mechanical force, the Legion, because the Empire, they were pretty much destroyed 4 years prior or 4 years ago. So 5 years into the war, if I'm reading that right, feel free to correct me. But, I wonder what curveballs will be thrown. Have we seen all of the machine types, or are there going to be some other types of machines that really put the 86 through the ringer? And are we going to hit a point where Lena needs to actively go to the battlefield herself? Because she said she's been there once. So what was the circumstances behind that, and will she have to go again someday? Maybe she'll go to the battlefield and meet Shin in person. That'd be a cool meeting. And it was interesting also finding out that her race, or at least her specific group of people, is called the Alba. I can't wait until, well, I can wait because I don't know if I'm ready for it, but would they try, they struggle for recognition for independence if they go that route, to be recognized as human beings, to get human rights and shit like that, to be not treated like trash and oppose the government essentially, which we know it will crack down. No government likes to be fractured, likes to have the dog it raised bite the hand that fed it, even if they beat the shit out of it and abuse it, if I'm using a good analogy. I wish I could hop into the next episode right away, but man, I'm very worried about next episode's title after all. The ending was nothing to write home about. I like the music a lot. Hiroyuki Sano is fantastic as usual, but the visuals didn't give me much to go off of. I was told that they do change, and I'll also keep an eye out for the next for post-credit scenes. I always do in general, but it never hurts to be told in advance. Anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts on my reaction, on my commentary, on the episode itself. Apologies for not using T-subs, even though I wanted to. I gotta fix some issues with that, but they should be there for episode 6, which is, I believe, the next time I need to use T-subs. Either way, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you check out my links down below. My Twitter, my Twitch, my Kitsu, my Patreon, my Discord, my VOD channel. Support me on all those platforms. It'd be very much appreciated after all. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified when I upload next. Boost engagement, tells YouTube to promote these. And well, I'm AlduicS. See you all later. Peace.